Hi everybody, I'm Kathleen Byram, and I'm the author of Conversations with Donkey, a Bipolar Journey. I'd like to talk today about psychics and misunderstandings about them. Now, I'm not just talking about psychics, I'm talking about mediums and other terminology. I am not real big on the terminology and knowing what different things are, like clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, things like that. I don't know very well. I just want to talk about general things that have kind of stood out in my mind. For one thing, people like to make jokes and say, they didn't see that coming. Well, no, they wouldn't see that coming because they're not God, for God's sake. Just because someone has the ability to see a certain ghost or talk to the dead and get a thought back in their head that sounds like a message doesn't mean that they can go win the lottery. These people may not have control over what's happening with them. Now, I knew a lady who could sit on the bus with people and read their thoughts sitting next to them. She didn't like it. She went to another psychic and learned how to turn it off so she doesn't have to pick up on people's thoughts like that. It was very intrusive to her. Now, does that sound like a fake to you? How can that be a fake? Someone who wants to get rid of the ability. So that's very annoying hearing that. And these people, they're not magic. They're everyday people like you and me. They just have a higher ability to do certain things. Now with me, I'll tell you what I do. Let's see. I'm wanting to say about common misconceptions first, though. So I'm going to mention some of them. They can read your mind or know your deepest secrets. Well, as I said, that girl on the bus, she was able to pick up on people's thoughts. But it's not a constant, omniscient awareness of everyone around them. Often they're described as things that they have to tune into to perceive. There are ethical boundaries about things like this. Here's a misconception. All psychic information is guaranteed to be accurate. There's a common expectation that a psychic reading should be 100% accurate, similar to a factual report. The future is dynamic and influenced by free will, current energy, and personal choices. It seems to me that you could see something happening to someone in the future and that you could tell them about it. And the very act of telling them will set off a chain reaction that will make it negate so that it doesn't happen. Does that make sense? One of them is they can predict specific events like lottery numbers. I'm not going to say that certain people cannot do that because I don't know every single thing in the universe. But I would say that sometimes people might get a hint of something and use it to their benefit, or a feeling, or a hunch. Here's the thing about cold reading. I'm talking about real life people like you and me, not people that are out to cheat people. That's a different situation. Because this field is unregulated, it has historically attracted individuals who use deceptive practices for financial gain. This is why we can't have nice things, by the way. Critics emphasize the importance of awareness regarding techniques like cold reading, where subtle cues are used to build trust and generate seemingly accurate information. Ethical practitioners often distinguish themselves by refusing to instill fear, avoiding the exploitation of vulnerable clients, and being transparent about their processes. I like that. Anyway, that's just a little bit about that. And I hope this has been interesting or informative to you. I'm Kathleen Byram, and I'm the author of Conversations with Donkey, A Bipolar Journey. It's available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Walmart, all online. Thank you for listening. And if you would, please take a second and flip that like button for me. It does a lot for me. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.